this is Puketoi Farm. We've got sheep, cows. We grow crops and we use irrigation because we live on the dry side of Māniatoto. My favourite animals are the ones we've got over there. Tiny. Hi, my name is Ruben. Hi, my name's Evelyn.
My name's Emma.
And my name is Kyle.
We live in an extremely dry climate. Our rainfall here is 350 millimetres per year.
As farmers, we are price takers rather than price makers. We are at the whim of the markets on what we are paid for what we produce.
One of the most precious resources we have is time, and on a farm, all the jobs are never done. Oh, that sun's quite nice, isn't it? Just a wee bit of heat there. So what we've found is that the simplest thing for us to do is to take away those things that we can't control, box them up and put them on the side and focus on the things that we can do. There's not a lot we can do around what the government does around emissions pricing, but what is within our control is we know that what we do within this business does have a greenhouse gas footprint. Starting to shake. It's damn cold. Okay, so we're actually going inside. It's freezing. We've got huge pressure on us around environmental changes and stuff. So we're in a unique position in New Zealand where farm greenhouse gas shows up. It's 50% of our overall emissions profile. And it's resulted in a massive amount of reforms, and that's all happened really, really fast. And so when it lands on rural communities and that are incredibly diverse across New Zealand, you often get unintended consequence. And that leads to a feeling that you're not heard, and a feeling that you're beaten up on and you're not doing it right. And you just, no matter how hard you try and communicate, you just can't get that through because the tidal wave of change is never ending.
What does that feel like?
It's really, really overwhelming for us. Like, I think sometimes you feel like you're struggling to really keep your head above water.
So how do you manage it in your own space?
Yeah. So I think like sometimes it's good to look at those problems and focus on the little things on farm that we can do. Like, so we've got a riparian planting program and we've put a lot of natives in. We've done a lot of shelter over the years, which some of it counts as ETS forestry, and also looking at what we've already achieved. And I think celebrate the successes is massive because you can look back, say, over the past 12 years we've been here and we can look around and go, wow, that's actually amazing to see what we've achieved. Yeah. The other side of that is it's also really important to get a range of information, like go to a lot of the industry field days that are happening and just keep up to date with the information and the science that's going on in that space, because there is a huge amount of work going on in industry, and with these big challenging topics that we're facing, it's worth just balancing out the narrative of what you hear. That can really help. The best thing for us is being to understand what our emissions profile is for a start. So that's knowing the number and knowing the breakdown of that number, looking into it and seeing where we can actually make little tweaks here and there. Like, there's no silver bullet for a lot of it, especially in this climate. Like, we really struggle to grow trees. Lamb is our main point of focus in production. Like, that's something that we celebrate as being really, really good at. So how do you break away from something that you're actually really good at to go and focus on something else? And I think we've diversified into arable, and we do a little bit. Well, like, we're increasing our seed production every year, and that tends away. But that comes with challenges as well. I guess there's little things like increasing production per head rather than focusing on production per hectare, increasing live weight gains, decreasing the emissions intensity per kg of product we produce, and taking a real close eye on efficiencies. And I think it's worth noting the massive efficiency gains that sheep and beef farming has actually achieved in the past 20 years, but there's always a little tweak you can make in that space. As a culture, like, I think we can be real shockers at focusing on perfectionism and getting it right every single time, and therefore that can make you afraid to try, afraid to actually have a crack, and it is real hard because there's people watching, right, and you can step into a space where you're really you want to have a go at something, but you go, oh nah, I might fail and everyone will laugh at me. But instead of thinking like that, it's like, okay, I've got to try something. I'll set my goal, might be set it at an achievable level, and then have a go. And if you fail, then make a whole list of things of what you learnt and do it differently next time. And that's how we sort of evolve over time. So it's better to be a little bit comfortable with failure, recognising that if you don't try, you're just going to stay stuck. Sometimes it's good to look at the challenges you have on your farm and think about your own values and where that leads you to. In terms of Puketoi, we've got to be aware of the changes or the challenges that climate change is going to bring, and possibly adapt around that, like preempt that, because we have no control over the cards we're dealt, but we can decide how we play the cards, and I think that how we play that cards is probably the exciting bit.
My worry about climate change is animals. Not dogs or cats. I mean polar bears, penguins, icebergs, seals, fish and whales. Since climate change is warming up cooler areas and icy oceans, with species that are more used to the cold, some wildlife may become extinct from heat stroke. Some land animals could fall through the thin ice.